This little stream goes under the road and under a large old mill on the other side, and then it comes out of a pipe and into a beck. It's not a very impressive place to start, but there's a lot of history up the hill from here, and a friend of mine has found all sorts in this little valley, including musket balls, very old figurines, and some strange old relics amongst the many more modern things. So fingers crossed for the hope of finding some interesting things today. Blue and white pottery is usually my first find in a video, and today's no exception. I guess that's just what my eye gets drawn to first. Blank piece, and another, and that might have a bit of a pattern on it. I'll take it and see. Interesting. This is the first of this style bottle top that I've found, and it's still got the seal and a bit of a neck. I'm very happy with that. Some more blue and white. Another piece, quite faded. And some extruded aluminium, which I'll take out to my scrap pile, ready for when I can afford a little forge. I think this is marginally the longest piece of pipestem I've found, and it still has a pinched end bit where the teeth would grip it. That's quite rare here. Some more blue and white. No, it's what's it called? Jasperware. First bit I found of that around here. Quite worn, but looks to be a flower pattern. Oh, that's a nice piece. Some scarlet elf-cup fungus. Lovely to look at, and apparently they taste earthy with a hint of beetroot. I'd certainly rather have beetroot, the texture's more to my taste. A little side stream and a little piece of roofing lead. And let's see, not much else visible unfortunately. That looks interesting. Oh wow! No great age to it, probably 70s or 80s. Some kind of a terrier, but I'm not sure which. If you know, then please do say. Looks like a bit of a shoe, adult for a change, and the nails in it were almost certainly iron, which means low quality. And now it's sporting an accretion of rust and pebbles as a result, not really built to last. An early flower, I think it's a lungwort, but I'm not good at plant identification yet, so do correct me if I'm wrong. Another piece of lead, I'll take it. Some enamelled iron, part of a road sign perhaps. Yet another piece of lead, a broken bottle. And a piece of an old fence, perhaps an end piece or part of a gateway. impressive little tunnel, made entirely out of carefully placed hand-cut stone. No mortar or cement visible, a lovely spiderweb too, not sure if you can see that, and a plastic bottle. Right, I'm going to climb up these steps and head up to the silted old Millpond, which is 50 or so yards beyond that wall. I'd be tempted to go down there and take a look for some pottery, but steps have been taken to discourage such foolhardy behaviour, so I'll be sensible. What a lovely day to wander around a big puddle. Plank. Sorry for the sniffs, I've got a bit of a cold and no tissue. There's a tiny bit of a pattern on this in red. No pattern, but a nice mottling to the surface. And a Peroni beer bottle cap. Bit of a teacup handle. And another. Probably a piece of a drain pipe. Part of an old Belfast sink, I think. Quite nice, but too heavy for me and I've no use for it. An old iron pipe, very rusty. blank. I love this. I can barely get my feet underneath it, so either the chair has sunk, or the ground has risen, or someone quite deliberately buried the legs. Either way, it's a whimsical feature in the world now, and it makes me happy. There's some houses up there, and there's been houses up there for hundreds of years. The residents used this hillside as a dump, and a lot of the things they discarded now sit beneath the surface of all that silt in the Millpond. Apparently more things come down after each heavy rain, and there's more houses further up, more informal little household dumps. I'm not sure what fungus this is. I am sure that that's a shoe. A walking shoe, A.S.M.R, looks to be about a size 6. I'll leave it out in a prominent place and hope that whoever lost it is a regular walker here and sees it. A little bit of a dump down here, no visible sign of anything very old though. The bottom of maybe a flower pot, looks like salt glaze. And a piece of aluminium. And what's this? Looks like copper, but there's a rust hole, so maybe copper plated. It looks to be wider at the bottom than top, and third degree colour inside. And a painted piece of cement or stone. Looks like some form of chair up there, in an old and well-formed stream, which would probably have been a preferred place to dump things in pre-dustbin times. Ooh, I spot some copper. It's well buried, this is going to take some work. Ah, here it comes. That's quite a bit, I'm happy with that. A bit of pattern on this. And what's this? A foot. A very little big foot with a face printed on it. I think it's an eraser. I'll take it. And this. Some pottery with ridges on the inside of the curve. And some more pottery. I'm not sure if there's a picture or pattern under the algae. I'll take it and clean it. I think I can see something up there. And this plastic doesn't belong here. Right, I'm going to climb a short way up here and see what I can find. Another piece of drain pipe. Sorry if the camera's unsteady. Some unidentifiable ironwork. Quite a lot of it up here. An old shelf bracket. And nope, not coming out. Oh well. Yep, that's a very severe shaped outdoors wicker armchair. The last snow pattern or picture. Oh, what is it? It's so organic looking and it looks to be part of an engine. Yeah, a motorcycle engine, I reckon. It's been in water for, oh I don't know, looks like decades. It's far too gone to restore, but I like it and I want to take it. It's heavy, but I am going to take it. I'll figure out something to do with it. Yeah, that's a very cool find. Something camouflaged, I can't quite make out what it is. And a piece of wire poking out from the gravel. Not very much, but I'll take it. A nice little piece of black and white pottery. Such a beautiful place and a beautiful day. I do hope this camera can catch even half of what my eyes are seeing today. 58R. I guess this is part of an old number plate, possibly one for a motorbike. I guess it would strain the bounds of credibility to suggest that it came from the same vehicle as the engine part, but it is a possibility, isn't it? They were less than 100 metres apart. I don't think I'll risk climbing up here. I've already had a few minor slips getting this far. I'm a little tired and tiredness makes me clumsier. I'll find another way. I'm up, and of course I want to look down again. I love walking under such old and wonderful bridges, seeing the bits that hardly anyone else ever sees. Right, there are a few bits of pottery up here, so I'll go further. But I'm guessing this video is already getting pretty long, so I might speed up the film a bit and only slow it down if I find anything interesting. My last video was about 35 minutes long and it took a whole 24 hours to upload, so I'm trying to keep it shorter than that if possible. I don't know if this will work. This is a nice piece, a bit reminiscent of the shard I found which the Portable Antiquities Scheme liaison took to catalogue. And another, even more so, with the same layering of glazes by the looks of it, so might be 17th century. Just sitting on the bank here, a little piece of cut glass. Looks quite modern, but I'll take it anyway. A bit of flat milk glass with a stamp mark on it. A nice mismatched pair of socks, which are far too small for me. What an unusual place to park a trailer. I don't think the stream is the best place to keep it in good condition. It looks like it's suffering from a case of rust and a missing wheel, but still fixable if anyone cared to get it out of here. Blue and white just gets everywhere. That wall marks a boundary into somebody's garden, so this is as far as I go. And as the sun is still above the horizon, and the light is still lovely, and my camera isn't quite out of battery or space on the memory card, I might as well film the descent, or at least as much of it as the battery allows. Roundup time. And sure, I was kind of hoping to find some really old things. A musket ball would have been a wonderful first for me. Maybe next time. But I'm not at all unhappy with what I found. Even though there's not a huge variety, there's still a small number of good finds here, and the light was spectacular and the valley was lovely, and I had tons of fun exploring. So, out of the pottery I found, the piece I found most interesting is this, simply because I enjoy the challenge of finding out where it depicts. Google hasn't been much help yet. The clues lead me to think that it's probably somewhere in Tuscany, but I haven't found a match yet and the search continues. I found a smashed up garden gnome at one point, and I picked up his face, or at least the recognisable parts of it. It looks like a crude version of a Disney dwarf to me, possibly Sleepy. This bottle top surprised me by being so local it hasn't travelled more than half a mile since the bottle was filled, by James Simpson of Hebden Bridge. James Simpson made ginger beer and soda and had the motto Sum qui qui on his company's bottles. Roughly translated, it's Latin for to each his own. Very gender specific and really not what Hebden Bridge is like anymore. This eraser will go into my art box. It's a little too dirty for most uses, so it'll probably languish there waiting for me to do something in charcoal, which I do occasionally do. I still don't know what this thing was. If I had to guess, I'd say it looks most like an old grease pot in a garage, but it could have been a planter too. It's quite holy now, so I'm sorry to say it'll go into the scrap box. I like this small portion of a number plate. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. There's not enough of it to know for sure which vehicle it came from, but I like the thought it might have been the same bike that this came from. This is absolutely my star find. I know a lot of people won't see the appeal, but this organic-looking rust decay would be so hard to recreate outside of a stream. I have plans, unsolidified as yet, to turn this into something else, probably the base of a lamp, and possibly to make a craft video around the process. I'll have to stabilise the rust first, and that's going to be a challenge if I want to keep rust colour. I'll have to do some research and some designing, and lots of work to reach anywhere near the full potential that this thing has to me. I did, of course, also find lots of trash, which is now in a variety of bins depending on how recyclable it is. And of course some scrap metal, which I'll either use or sell one day. It's slowly piling up, but still much faster than I'm using it in craft projects. I sincerely hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a like, a comment, a share, subscribe. More videos are coming. I thank you all very much for watching, and for now, goodbye.